Metal groans under sudden, unnatural acceleration as an unidentified object circles high above the cabin glass. This is the terrifying reality recorded on October 21st, 1978, when a 20-year-old pilot makes his final transmission over the dark expanse of water. Flight service operators in Melbourne listen in stunned silence as 20-year-old Frederick Valentich describes a long aircraft with green lights hovering silently. He insists it is orbiting his single-engine plane, moving at speeds that defy ordinary aviation physics. The engines roar. The cockpit instruments flicker erratically. And then, all radio communication ceases abruptly. At approximately 7 minutes past 7 in the evening, the voice vanishes into static, leaving behind a profound and chilling silence across the airwaves.
The journey began as a routine flight across the treacherous waters separating the Australian mainland from the remote shores of King Island. Few pilots relish crossing these windswept maritime routes, where sudden weather changes frequently test human endurance. Beneath the wings of the small aircraft, endless miles of black ocean stretch toward the horizon with no emergency landing strips available. The cold maritime environment offers zero margin for error should mechanical failure or sudden disorientation strike an aviator. Navigating these isolated skies requires absolute trust in compass headings and steady radio contact with ground controllers far below. Any interruption to that invisible umbilical cord of sound immediately isolates the traveler in a vast wilderness of air. The aircraft at the center of this profound aviation mystery is a reliable Cessna 182 bearing the specific registration VCVF, designed for long-range touring. This particular model enjoys a stellar reputation for structural stability and dependable engine performance. Investigators meticulously review the mechanical specifications of VCVF, searching for any plausible physical explanation for an in-flight catastrophe. Yet the plane possesses sufficient fuel and no prior maintenance flags that might foreshadow sudden structural disintegration. Could an experienced pilot misjudge his own positioning and mistake lights on the water for an airborne pursuer? Aviation experts debate this hypothesis endlessly, weighing human spatial disorientation against the precise, calm tone of the final radio calls. The transcript preserves every fragmented, tense exchange between the cockpit and the ground station during those final, agonizing minutes aloft. Valentich reports that the unknown craft is approaching rapidly, flashing a green light before darting directly overhead. At one point in the recording, the pilot describes the metallic object hovering just 1,000 feet above his struggling aircraft. His voice remains remarkably steady, conveying genuine urgency rather than panicked hysteria as he describes the metallic hull. Then comes the most chilling artifact of the entire transmission. 17 seconds of unexplained metallic scraping sounds over the frequency. It resembles the sound of metal tearing or grinding before the audio feed cuts out permanently into absolute silence. As soon as the radio channel goes dead, coordinated emergency procedures swing into motion across the Victorian coast and surrounding waters. Search and rescue coordinators calculate drift vectors, wind speeds, and fuel exhaustion times to map out potential debris zones. Aircraft from the Royal Australian Air Force sweep back and forth across thousands of square miles of open ocean. Observers scan the white caps through binoculars for hours on end, looking for oil slicks, floating seat cushions, or torn fuselage fragments. Surface vessels join the grid search, braving unpredictable swells and biting winds to scour every wave crest between the mainland and King Island. Despite exhaustive efforts by multiple agencies, the surface of the sea yields not a single trace of evidence. Days bleed into weeks, yet the official maritime search teams fail to locate any wreckage belonging to registration VCVF. The total absence of physical debris confounds maritime authorities, as even catastrophic crashes typically leave floating fragments behind. Families, investigators, and aviation historians pore over every scrap of documentation generated during the multi-day rescue operation. Every radar log, weather report, and audio cassette is scrutinized for hidden clues that might explain the sudden disappearance. The official inquiry concludes without determining a definitive cause, leaving the fate of the pilot and his aircraft shrouded in ambiguity. Without physical wreckage to examine, theories proliferate in public discourse, ranging from terrestrial misidentification to the paranormal. Decades after that fateful October evening, the case remains one of Australia's most enduring and debated aviation mysteries. Pilots who fly the Bay Strait routes still glance nervously out their cockpit windows when twilight descends over the dark waters below. The psychological weight of the disappearance rests heavily on the history of Australian civil aviation, marking a boundary where rational explanation fails. Every recorded word of the final radio conversation is analyzed by new generations seeking answers to an impossible riddle. To this day, the ocean guards its secrets beneath rolling swells, keeping the Cessna 182 and its young pilot hidden from human eyes. The radio silence that began at 7:09 in the evening continues unbroken across the decades, an open wound in aviation history.